So I've got the ingredients for a winter risotto. I've also laid them out in a way that's going to represent how the current county budget is broken down. Cranberries, and that represents finance and debt services. I've got fresh sage, and that represents the sage leadership of our county board of supervisors and other elected officials. Arboreal rice, that represents our sheriff and law enforcement. Chopped onions, representing the public works department. And butternut squash, the biggest piece of our recipe and the biggest piece of the county, for the health and human services department. And that includes departments like the health department, aging and disability services, veteran services, and the Department of Workforce Development. So I've got about a tablespoon of olive oil that I've heated up in this Dutch oven. To that I'm going to add my onions. And I'm going to cook that for about 3 minutes. Now when the onions have softened, I'm going to add in the arboreal rice. So it's very important to keep stirring, and I'm going to start to add some of the homemade stock I've made. Now it's also really important that the stock you add is hot and boiling. That way when you add it to the rice that's cooking, you don't bring the temperature of that rice down. So as you start to stir, all that liquid starts to get absorbed by the rice. And so you just keep stirring until that first amount of liquid has almost all been absorbed by the rice, and then we'll add more. I've never known if this is true or not, but when I was in culinary school, one of my instructors said you always stirred risotto in a figure 8. Now, I don't know if that actually makes a difference, but I do think it's kind of like a washing machine, how it agitates. So I've always done that, and my risotto always turns out pretty great. So whenever I make risotto, I like to use a Dutch oven. I'm really a fan of this one. This is my grandmother's, and it also was made in Tennessee, where I'm from. It's actually made by the company Lodge, which makes all the cast iron. Great piece of equipment. I'll probably be able to hand it down to my kids. Absolutely love it. It's very sentimental as well. So I shredded the Parmesan cheese that's going to go in at the end. Always buy the full wedge of cheese and shred it yourself. It's a lot cheaper than buying the stuff in the bag. Also, in the Midwest, we don't like to waste anything. We like to save as much money as possible. So I'm going to take that rind and add it to this homemade stock that I'm making. Add a real nice salty flavor to that. So I've got everything ready to go into at the last stage. The rice has absorbed all the liquid. It's really nice and creamy. Now I'm going to take the final ingredients. I've got the butternut squash, the cranberries, Parmesan cheese, about half a teaspoon each of salt and pepper, and about a tablespoon of whole butter. And there is your winter risotto. Hope you enjoy.